Nasty Nas, you already know. As you can see, looking back, this is the monthly chart and very beautiful retest of the previous structure right in here. Super clean, very simple, easy. Boom. Retest, price does fly exponentially. It's gone. It's essentially gone at this point. We did. I personally did not enter in these positions. I wanted it to go lower, but I just let it happen. Boom. But if you were trading this, right? I know most people are trading this. Like, there's really no reason why you didn't get in this, unless you just missed it and you weren't really paying attention. There's really no excuse why all of us are not in this trade. This is, so I want to see more of us holding these types of positions. This is over 6,000 points to the upside, right? Any professional trader that trades NAS and is not in these positions, we need to be in this next time. There's absolutely no excuse. Right? Why is it, no, this is too easy, right? But it's okay. What's done is done. All we can do is move forward. All we can do is watch structure. And as we see on the monthly time frame, 3 months of bullishness, and we've been breaking structure each and every time. Very clean. Broke above these highs, full body candle. We also broke these highs right in here, right? One candle was able to break structure to the upside twice on the monthly time frame. Very solid. Boom, right in there. Never even got that retest. Price just continued to run, as we can see, and now marking up the most, well, not the most recent high, but the previous monthly high. We see that a break of structure above that high would indicate that we want to go higher. If we can break above these highs on the monthly time frame with a full body candle, then that's going to tell us price wants to potentially keep going higher. Until we see a break of structure to the downside on these higher time frames, it's hard to justify sells. And I've even heard some individuals say that, since we don't know what's happened on the left side, then it's more risky to trade this here. Look, I'm not sure about that, but I know it's going to be a lot more simple to understand what's happening, because quite often we get so caught up in what's happening to the left of the chart that we don't really focus on what's happening now. And I would say both are important, but what's happening now will confirm if what happened on the left still applies to today, right? What happened over here is cool. It's great. Like, what happened happened. But just because we came back to the same area as before doesn't mean that it's still going to be relevant. So we need to look for that confirmation. So as we see here, a lot of people were focused on all this. And hey, it did work out to a degree. Price, did come here and retest some of this distribution, tapped into some of this imbalance here, and price did give some moves. It did sell off, 700 points. We came up here, sold off again. Let me cut off this magnet. We came up here, sold off another 700. That's great. Right, 700 points on NAS is fantastic on any lot size. 0.01, boom. On a 0.10, whew, yeah, I need that. And that's one position. But I just think it makes more sense to follow the trend. And as we see here, after price retested that structure, we even came and created some accumulation here, broke structure to the upside, retested once, price came all the way back down, did it again. That's very solid. That's very solid. And as that happened, looking at the weekly chart, we just kept breaking structure to the upside. Boom. Boom. Break a structure. Boom. Break a structure. Boom. Break a structure. Just week after week. Boom. Price gapped. Price gapped. Gone. Gone. Keep breaking structure. And then we finally come to this imbalance here. And, does this thing, but we still continue to move forward. So As we can see, we just cleared the previous all-time highs. We had a full body candle 2 weeks ago. Very massive bullish candle to the upside, which cleared these highs. So we want to go higher. We didn't sweep these highs and then sell off. We broke above. So buyers are clearly in control. Clearly, even on the daily time frame, there wasn't really a liquidity sweep. We just broke through that. He said, "Nah, fam, you're done. You're done." And before that even happened, before this break of structure happened above the previous all-time highs, it was very obvious that this was coming. It was very clear that this was gonna happen. And the reason why I say that is because we have the confirmation. We have the confirmation. We have lows and highs being created here. And eventually, what happens? We sweep this liquidity, we tap into this imbalance, and we break structure to the upside. On the daily time frame, it's pretty solid. I would say the daily and above, like that's pretty solid confirmation. And then we come back to retest, who knows how many times. I've also heard people say the more times you touch the level, the weaker it becomes. The more retest you have, the weaker it becomes. And I've heard that too. Like when I first started learning how to trade, I did believe that. And I literally had that in my notes. And I was like, oh, it hit the support like 10 times. It's going to break through now. But as you backtest and learn and apply this information, you're like, whoa, I don't know if that's absolutely 100% true, because I've seen the opposite multiple times. And look what happened here. Multiple retests, very clear accumulation. This is no hidden mystery. Like, you know damn well what the setup is. So let's not act like you didn't see this happen. Let's not pretend that you didn't see a clear accumulation. So anyone who is selling this, you're pissing me off, because you know damn well what this is. So this is another reason why every professional trader needs to be in these types of trades. We need to be in this together. There's no excuse. And I was in most of this trade, but I did close out early as well myself. I had to pay myself. Just got back from vacation as well. I was in Vegas for damn near a week. But that shit costs money. So boom. But should have left the runner. I always say leave one, because that's it's still moving. It's still moving. And as we see, price is working its way up. Boom, going crazy, breaking structure to the upside. So I would love a retest of previous all-time highs, but again, we're not really getting any indication that price wants to go lower. I mean, maybe you can say, hey, we did just break some structure to the downside, which is great, and we did. But this is still an accumulation schematic. Let me move this low here. Let me move that out the way. I think that's the weekly low. But this is still accumulation. And right now we are on the daily, so it's probably hard for you to see, but the fact that we're breaking structure to the upside means that there's some type of accumulation happening. And then when you go down to the 4-hour, you see it more clear. Once again, we have some lows and highs being created, and then we sweep. Boom, this sweeps all this. Even taps into this imbalance, maybe even retest the structure here, who knows? And then we, boom, break above. So that's pretty valid. We do need to break above one of these highs here, because we did just sweep. We need that break of structure to confirm that, hey, this accumulation is actually valid. Just because we have this marked up, just because we see this and have all this color going on over here, doesn't mean that, hey, this is going to play out. We don't know. So until we get that, that's going to be like, once we get that, then I'll personally get into the buys myself. Until we get that break of structure, this is kind of sus. And the reason why I say it is because we are pretty high up, and I like to swing position trade. So I want to get a pullback position, and then scale in. I won't be taking any continuation plays until I have already positioned myself properly. Like if I was in down here still holding, okay, yeah, I wouldn't mind taking some low risk, well actually high risk entries since we are pretty high. And these are not even in the discount area. If you draw the Fibonacci from these lows here to the highs, discounts would be down here. And I would love a discount. Anytime you go shopping, guess what? You're looking for that discount. The same thing applies to the chart. That's why it baffles me when the market drops and people are shook. Oh no, it's dropping. Yeah, isn't that what you want? Like, don't you want a discount? I don't know. Hey, unless you got money like that, you want to pay high prices. Go ahead. But I need that discount. You feel me? But that's all we're waiting for. That's essentially Nasdaq, and I'm sure if we trade US30 or SPX, it's gonna be damn near the same thing. But yeah, that's what we got going on. I'll be updating you guys and seeing what happens here. But I'm gonna set my alert for these lows maybe, or I'm just gonna keep watching price action. I would log into your trading view and just mark up the structure and put an alert there. You can also mark if you even want even more confirmation. Maybe you can wait for both of these highs to be broken just to really know like, hey, this is really boom boom. This is really happening like for real. There wasn't just one here and then maybe we sweep liquidity, break structure, change the character, and then we just get cooked. Like that can also happen. So that's why I would love to see some at least that. If we can't even get that full body candle, like what are we doing, right? But let's get it.